The 419 with Gretchen DeBacker, Matt Killam, and Kevin Mullen.
Welcome into the 419, powered by WGTE and presented by Wheatro Wealth Management. I'm Kevin Mullen.
Gretchen DeBacker.
Matt Killam.
It is Wellness Wednesday, presented by our friends at WorkSpring. We're going to be diving into, as we do every week on this show on Wednesdays, diving into topics surrounding around wellness, predominantly in the workplace, but the reality is, as we know, workplaces are full of people. So wellness, individual wellness, that's
right.
That's fair. Yeah, that's right.
I cannot wait to replace the two of you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got Denise Flickner, the CEO of HealthWorks, is going to be on the program. Noah Hayden, who is a wellness consultant with WorkSpring, will be here as well. And then we get to meet and have on the program introduced to our audience the new morning host on FM 91, Mickey Miller, is going to be here as well.
Local celebrity.
That's
yeah,
right.
That'd be good.
So
that'd be fun.
big show, big things going on. Opening day yesterday, great way to kick off. It feels, even though like climate-wise, it doesn't quite feel like
Sure.
it's summer.
Yeah.
Baseball season is here, and that turns the corner for me.
Yeah, we did a show from the box yesterday. It was pretty thrilling.
Very fun.
For me. Yeah, it was nice to be behind the scenes, and that is the Super Bowl of Toledo, Ohio, and it was great to see everyone. Everyone came out, despite the weather being just okay. And the hands, of course, were awesome. The baseball was great, but the community came out.
And I'm still wearing my Muddy Buddy around. I didn't wear it today, but
Yeah, well,
I'm gonna keep
For
wearing
those
it.
of you that don't know, what on earth are you talking about?
You have to watch the show from yesterday.
Good hook.
But there's a new item for sale in Swamp Shop, which is a little stuffed animal you can wear on your shoulder, and it may or may not have voices that talk to you. You know, it just depends.
Yeah.
so they.
By the fifth inning, Gretchen was hearing the bird talk to her.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that was just me whispering.
Yeah.
So Craig Katz said that this was like an idea that they had taken from Disney.
Yeah.
I showed the photo of like screenshot to my family, and right away Danny was like, "Oh, hey, it's like a Disney," and I'm like, "I was at Disney with all of them."
Sure.
You were with another family.
Zero awareness.
I don't
of this.
provide any context for that. They have Disney characters at Center
Yeah.
Show, or a specific character from a show?
No, I think they sell those same little plush toys that
But
you
it
can wear on your
started
shoulder.
with Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's
okay.
right.
Started with what, Remy?
Yeah.
I think is
Yeah.
the.
These are little rats.
Ratatouille is in my top 10 for sure.
It's a
from
good one.
Disney. It's a great one.
Yeah.
Do you know
It's
that
good.
one?
It's good.
I love cooking shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, you learned. Did you learn anything from
I did.
Ratatouille?
She's a pro rodent, which is unusual
Yeah,
platform
it's
to
weird.
be on.
But
When you
before-
ran for judge, were you pro
I was.
rodent?
That's.
Yeah.
I think that's what made me lose it, basically.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've got a big show coming up on April 19th, 419 Day. It's your opportunity to party with us and the
Yes.
folks at WGTE downtown. Gretchen, what are the details?
Well, we're so excited to celebrate 419 Day as the 419 show here on WGTE. We're going to be at the Jute Mode store at 1811 Monroe Street. They're going to open all of their local gear will be available for sale. We'll have some WGTE tables, PBS Kids tables will be there. Metro Parks will be there. Dietz Food Truck will be there. But the best thing and most fun thing is going to be that we're going to have some super surprise guests, and we're going to record a live edition of our podcast at exactly 4:19 p.m. on that day in the store.
So folks have a chance to come out and be a part of the excitement. More details, of course, on social media, the 419 on Facebook and Instagram, or check out WGTE on social media as well for more details and how you can be a part of that exciting show. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're kicking off our Wellness Wednesday presented by WorkSpring with Denise Flickner, the CEO of HealthWorks. We'll be right back.
Support for the 419 comes from Wheatro Wealth Management, where we understand that your financial path is personal. Advisory services are offered through Capital Investment Advisory Services, LLC. Securities offered through Capital Investment Group, Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. More information at wheatroadvisors.com.
The 419, powered by WGTE, is made possible in part by supporters like you. Thank you.
Introducing The Local Thread, a community news series uniting voices and storytellers from across the region. In partnership with La Prensa, the Toledo Free Press, the Sojourner's Truth, Toledo Public Schools, and Rethinking Jails and Justice. The Local Thread brings you stories and conversations that connect our community. Hear it weeknights at 7 on FM 91 with early access on podcast platforms each morning. The Local Thread, only on WGTE.
Welcome back into the 419. It's Wellness Wednesday, presented by WorkSpring. And we're joined now by Denise Flickner with HealthWorks. And I got the title wrong. You were the former CEO, but you are now the Chief Growth Officer?
Executive Growth Officer.
Executive.
And actually the company that purchased HealthWorks is called Integrated Health 21. So they're out of Pittsburgh.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, talk to us about that company. And obviously an opportunity to expand, when it was HealthWorks in the Cincinnati area, but expanding obviously beyond that now with the acquisition.
Also, how important was it for you to sell your company to another city on a river?
Oh gosh, well that was very important. That was critical.
Sure.
No, it was actually, we were in conversations for about 4 years. So I started HealthWorks back in 1999, so 26, 27 years ago. Had a lot of fun getting it to where it is, have a great team, but I also realized I had to have an exit plan, and it doesn't happen overnight. So I started having conversations with a gentleman named Jack Tomeko, who is in Pittsburgh, and they were a very similar company, and it was really, really important to me that from a cultural perspective that we aligned. So we spent a lot of time talking. He has been purchasing other companies like HealthWorks so that we can expand and organically expand. So
What is the work you do?
So what I do is my responsibility is obviously growing the business, but our focus is doing worksite wellness. It's doing biometric health screens. We have a platform that we spent the last 2 years building, which is an engagement platform to try to get people just excited about health, at minimum to track the things that they should be doing. Preventative screenings, biometric screenings, getting people active and just engaged.
Before we get to what all those are, why do you care about this? Why is this something of interest to you?
So I've always been passionate about health and well-being. So my background, my degree is in dietetics. So I grew up in Columbus, but I went to UC, got my degree. I taught fitness for about 25 years.
Okay.
And I was probably naive when I first started. I think I thought that I could just change everybody. It's
Sure.
like, I love wellness. So
Yeah.
of course you love wellness, and it's hard. And what I started to realize over the years is it's not just that they're lazy. There's always obstacles. Maybe they're caring for a parent. Maybe they're in throes of raising their children. It's hard to make these commitments for yourself and your health.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking about, just back to 1999, there's been a lot of advancement in technology to do all of this. I think even just an awareness of
Sure.
some of this has certainly changed.
Right.
What's been the biggest change for you in the 27 years that you've been doing this?
Well, I think when I first started, it was just a nice thing to have. It was nice to be able to, if you had a little extra money as an organization, you might do some biometric screenings or hold what they would call a health fair. You'd have different vendors there. Fast forward, I would say probably around 2011 is when I really started to see it becoming part of a business strategy. And today, it's part of whether you're small, large, manufacturing, professional, it really doesn't matter what industry. They've got some type of wellness program.
And we read this, or attempt to, every Wednesday, but from an employer standpoint, why is this important also?
I think it speaks volumes to the employees themselves and their families that we care about you.
That's
we
right.
want you to be healthy. And, there's obviously what they call ROI, so they want return on investment. So there's also the financial part of it. And I think the more they can save on the healthcare side, the more they can give back, whether it's through bonuses, whether it's through programs that they're offering back to the employees.
And for the layperson who you were talking to almost exclusively this morning in the studio, biometrics are what?
So biometric health screen, and it's pretty standard in the industry. What you essentially are doing is you're checking blood work, whether it's done through a finger stick or it's done through an actual blood draw.
Yeah. Why have we not improved the technology around the finger pricking?
Just being able to go like
I would
that.
rather you take blood out of my eyes
Oh.
than that. Why? It is the center of
Yeah.
your nerve endings are there. They're like, give me your finger. I'm like, why are we still doing this?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, but
No, that's okay.
You can get blood from a lot of different places.
Anywhere,
Hit me
please.
in the head. Yeah, it's fine.
That's right. Take it out of my skull.
I have never heard someone say take blood out of my skull.
Yeah, well, you're going to learn a lot from me, Denise. But forgive
All
me.
right, so back to the biometric screening.
Yes, thank you.
Essentially what we do is a blood draw, again, finger stick or vena puncture is what they call it. We do waist circumference, so we're checking what they call visceral fat because it's toxic to the organ, so it's important
That's
to
right.
stay within a certain range. Or BMI, which that has advanced. BMI was the standard forever. It was height, weight, but they use the same metric for women as they did men, and we're just not built the same. We muscle and bone. We do blood pressure and waist circumference. So we said waist circumference, BMI, blood pressure, blood. And the blood would encompass your lipid profile, cholesterol, it would do your glucose, and many companies also do what we call hemoglobin A1C, which I think is a lot more accurate than the fasting glucose.
Okay.
And,
Go ahead. No, please.
And those measures, those are seemingly very simple measurements, can tell you everything you need to know about the person, about their longevity, about their health.
It tells you a lot. I mean, I think it tells you, these are the metrics that we know that people can change through lifestyle modification. Some of the other things we can't. Genetics play a big role into
ma'am.
it, but yeah, you can definitely get a nice picture. I like the blood draw better because it gives you a bigger picture. They're both accurate, don't get me wrong, but it's probably a little bit more accurate.
But and the information you get there is to set appropriate goals or start a plan. What then do you do with the information?
You can do a lot of things with the information. One is, yes, you can create goals for people. You identify things that people didn't know they had. And the one thing I have seen change, we've really pushed individuals to have relationships with their primary care physicians. That's huge. But a lot of people are scared. A lot of
Yes,
people, they
ma'am.
don't know where to start. They don't know how to navigate the system,
well
so they
said.
just don't do it. So I think being able to bring that to them on site and identify.
And I think that there is sort of avoidance. Obviously, is something that I'm particularly skillful at. But screenings. One of our first shows, we had someone near and dear to me, Reverend Perryman, who was talking about screenings for prostate examinations, and particularly in the African American community. This is just something he's like, we, speaking for African Americans, he said, well, this is something we don't do. But screenings are something, and we all know what time is like, right? Something you think or refer to as like, oh, it just happened last week, and it was in reality months ago. How should we be thinking about screening and proper maintenance to our bodies?
I mean, I think it should be an annual thing that you do. Your body changes. My father's a perfect example. He was identified with prostate cancer when he was 56. He was very proactive, so every year he went and he had his PSA done.
Yes, ma'am.
And it wasn't even above a normal level, but it had jumped within that year. He would have had no idea, physically. So then the next step is you do biopsies. It was aggressive prostate cancer. Had the prostate removed. He's 83 now. He's doing great.
It's the very same thing for one of the loves of my life. My best friend's older brother, they lost their dad, who ignored until he had back pain, and that means it had metastasized, and unfortunately, he passed. But Tristan, who is 3 years older than I am, so I think they caught this in his a little bit younger than your dad, but in his late 40s.
Yeah.
And genetically speaking, they have a particularly aggressive form of this. So it saved his life. He has children.
Yeah,
So
it's a great story.
Yes, and your point is certainly well made. It's not fun to do, but you should think about this annually, if not for yourself, right? For the people around you, because they want you to be around.
I mean, obviously, we've talked about on the show kind of my health journey, family history of heart disease, and I remember going in, I would have been out of college, maybe a year or two, and going into a cardiologist for an appointment, and I was just terrified.
Yeah, sure.
And I remember my brother telling me, well, whether you go or not,
Still there.
you have it or you don't, right? And so wouldn't you rather?
That's the kind of dumb stuff siblings say.
That's right. But it was just like an aha moment of you're like, I'm afraid of the test, and he was like, no, the test isn't the problem.
Yeah,
Right.
totally.
That's right.
It's going to tell you whether you have it or not, and you kind of need to know.
But what you're saying is totally relatable, although irresponsible.
Yeah, sure.
It is totally relatable.
Yeah.
Denise, if you don't mind me asking, I am always curious, the sort of people's origin stories. When you were little Denise, you were particularly interested in, or just particularly active. How did you start down this path?
Yeah, I was always active. I was, played sports in high school. Loved to run, loved to work out. I just always have.
Yeah. A passion.
Passion.
Yeah.
And
What sports did you play?
I played field hockey.
Oh, yeah, my sister played field
Yeah,
hockey.
loved it.
It is a great game, and it was and the play was in New Hampshire was a big sport
very much
as well.
out east. Yeah.
And it seemed like every time the game started getting exciting, they stopped it for some sort of rule infraction. It was a hard game to watch, but my sister loved it. But in your family, brothers and sisters, you all are sort of health oriented, or are you constantly telling these people to get their acts together?
Maybe a little bit of that.
Yeah, sure.
My dad is. I used to run with my dad when we were younger, kayaking. Yeah. He's still. My parents are hilarious. They are in Florida right now. They've got this motorhome they take with them. They
fun.
sent a picture yesterday. Their bikes are out there. They've got kayaks
That's
on the back,
amazing.
and they're in their 80s.
Good for
so
them.
it doesn't have to.
I mean,
have
that's
to
kind of
stop.
the long dream, right?
Right.
That people can finish their work life and stay healthy enough to enjoy those
That's right.
kinds of things. You mentioned something that Integrated Health 21 does at the job site. So is this something that you take to the employees?
Good question. Yes, that is the whole premise behind this. It's on-site wellness.
So there's no excuse.
There's no excuse. You
Yeah.
can't make it easier. It's
Yeah.
10 minutes. It's
You're
quick.
just sitting in their office with the finger prick.
You come, the head prick, whatever you want to do.
That's right,
And
that's
then they come out. They come to we have screens that are set up around, so it's very private. And again, it takes like 10 minutes to do it.
That
They
makes
get
it
the
easy
results right away.
for all the people you mentioned before, people that are caring for parents or small children. Yeah, just do it while you're at work.
Why is this a responsibility of the workplace?
Well, they're trying to control cost is a big one. You know,
Sure.
you can't manage what you don't know. So I think especially, and then you have, what they call self-funded or fully insured health plans. So self-funded plans, you may know, but self-funded plans, they're essentially funding, funding the health. So if there is an issue, they're paying to a certain point. There's a stopgap, paying to a certain point. So with the self-funded companies, it's even more important to identify these risks early, just because blood pressure costs different than angioplasty, costs different than open heart surgery. So when you catch these things, there's a very different cost associated.
This potentially is an unfair question, so bear with me here. In terms of business, people have all been selling things since the beginning of time, right? Have you found yourself or this industry working against fads more or less? I mean, people are on juice cleanses and have all manner of things to be quick fixes. Is there an educational part of this that you're working against? Have you found more of this, or you've been at this for a considerable amount of time, so you've seen a lot.
I think there's a lot of fads out there. We have to be very careful.
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
This is what it is.
Excuse me, you got water for that, right?
That water is brought to you by WGTE.
So good.
Yeah.
Excuse me, yeah. So we have health coaches that actually will talk to people. A big thing now is the GLPs. So it's just making sure that there's an educational component behind it.
Yeah. So do you mind talking a little bit about that? People are using it.
They are using it. I don't know a lot about it,
Sure.
to be honest with you. I'm not against it,
Yep,
but I
right.
don't endorse it either. I've seen it help a lot
That's
of people.
about flossing.
Yep.
What's the
dance,
next
right?
step after people find out about their, whatever the results of their biometric testing is? What do employers do? What does your company do to then, because if you know it, to Kevin's point, if you know it and then don't do anything about
That's
it, that's
right.
still not a cost savings, right? Or life saving.
So what I'm seeing companies do now, and it's been going on for probably 10 years, but they call it more of an outcomes-based program. So essentially what that means is they're incentivized to participate in this program, whether it's through a premium differential on their health insurance. So there's a couple things that they can do. If risks are identified, one, they should absolutely go to their doctor. And what I'm seeing most employers do is, as part of the incentive, you have to go to your doctor.
Sure.
You have to do a biometric screening. You'll answer a tobacco affidavit, or you'll take a tobacco test to prove that you're a non-smoker, and you'll go to your physician. But there's also coaching components, so that if you are elevated, let's say your blood pressure, you can work with a coach, and if you work with a coach, just say 3 times, then they'll give you credit for that particular metric.
Nice. What are we seeing about smoking rates? Obviously they're on the decline.
They're
but
on the decline.
Are they concerned about vaping and other things like that, or is there any age group that those numbers are going back up?
Well, we see them in the younger group, obviously, and there is a concern because we don't know what the outcome's going to be. They've talked about popcorn lung and these different things that we're going to see.
What on earth is popcorn lung?
It's I just know it's something with what the vaping does to your lungs. There's like little bubbles and
Makes you look like
chemicals.
Orville Redenbacher.
yeah, essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what we're seeing. And a lot of the companies do test. So, people think because I'm not smoking a cigarette, I'm not a tobacco user.
That's right.
And if you're doing any time, so it's really cotinine that they're testing for, which is a byproduct.
Yikes.
We're talking with Denise Flickner. You are a partner with WorkSpring.
Yes.
What is that relationship?
been a great relationship. So we've been working with them, I want to say probably 8+ years.
Oh, wow.
So they created a program with a health insurance carrier. And as part of that program, the employees have to do the biometric screening. I think the goal is to get at least 50%, but I think they get a much higher rate on participation. So what we do is we're the screening arm. So essentially every time they bring on a new client or year over year, they reach out to our team and we go ahead and coordinate the screening, meet with the client, do the promotion and the screening, and then we upload the information to that health
There has to be some feel goods here. It sounds like you had one, personally with your father. Has there been an aha moment, or what keeps you interested and excited about this? Do you have a lot of energy naturally? Maybe
I do.
Yeah, that's wonderful. But how do you? It's been 30 years.
Yeah.
How do you stay? What keeps you engaged like this?
I'm so passionate about it.
Yeah,
I look
clearly.
forward to Monday on Sunday. I just do.
Yes,
I always
yeah.
have.
Yeah.
Love what I do.
Any aha moment with a particular patient or working that is noteworthy to you? I'm sure there's many.
Sometimes the aha moment is identifying something.
Yes,
We've
ma'am.
had so many situations where we identify risk, we get on the phone with
Yes.
people and we have a conversation and get them the help that they need. There's also, we screen year over year, so we do an aggregate report so we can actually show from a cohort perspective, Denise went through last year, she's actually made improvements this year. She's a year older, but she's made improvements.
You're
So to
saving
me,
lives here. That's
saving lives.
Yeah, right. That's wonderful.
If people want more information on your organization or kind of where to get started down this journey, where can they find it?
They can, the new website. Sorry.
We'll plug it in here. Just move your mouth.
Can I give a phone number?
Yeah,
Is that
perfect.
the
Yeah,
of course.
513-751-1288.
Perfect.
Awesome. Denise, thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so
We
much. It was
appreciate
great to meet you all.
Nice
Thanks
to
for
meet
joining
you.
us here. When we come back, we'll have Noah Hayden with WorkSpring will join us to continue the conversation around screenings and what WorkSpring's doing about it here in the region. It's the 419, powered by WGTE. We'll be right back.
To me, community means connecting to others.
I'm Donnie Miller, and welcome to The Point.
I love CBS Kids!
We're a community committed to education. Discover new ideas, dive into exciting subjects, and engage with the world around you.
I would send them personally a t-shirt. Crime doesn't pay in the Old West End, pass it on. That's how we cleaned up the neighborhood.
Vision loss for people is not the end.
It's a story, it's the next chapter.
WGTE Public Media invites you to Get Out and Play Day.
Monday through Friday, it's the 419, powered by WGTE. With Matt Killam, Gretchen DeBacker, I'm Kevin Mullen. What can people expect on the show?
It's going to be an hour, a reminder of why this is a great place to live, work, and play.
WGTE, where you come to watch, listen, and learn.
Welcome back into the 419. It's Wellness Wednesday here on the 419, powered by WGTE. We're joined now by Noah Hayden, a wellness consultant with WorkSpring. Noah, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming in.
We've had other wellness consultants on.
Yes.
We've been seeing other wellness.
Yes, yes.
sorry,
I've heard.
I'm sorry you had to hear it like this.
Wait, what did they say about us?
Only good things. Only good things. But we could talk after.
Okay.
Maybe there's some
For
other
our
things.
wellness, thank you for lying to us.
Well, we need as many wellness consultants as we can get on this show. What does it mean to be a wellness consultant at WorkSpring?
Yeah, we as a wellness consultant are just here to help our clients in any way possible, right? So we do a variety of things, by planning different wellness events, maybe communication or marketing. Maybe it's just creating marketing for a client. Maybe it's getting on site and actually helping people, log on to their wellness portal or complete wellness activities. It really is a variety of things that, each day doesn't look the same, right? It could be a variety of things for a different client, depending on their goals. So we're here to help them, whatever their wellness goals may be.
From a privacy perspective, I imagine you can't give out like exact company names, but talk to me about what types of companies you're working with. Is it a particular size and a particular industry?
Yeah, that's a great
people's
question.
names and the social security numbers.
Yeah, I've memorized a lot.
I have 9 Discovery cards.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we usually around the mid-size companies that we will work with, so like about 50 to 500, basically.
Sure.
So we don't, really small, often don't work with them, and very large, we don't often work with as well. But these companies can be a wider range of industries, right? We have, manufacturing. We have a lot of manufacturing, but school systems and distribution centers and a lot of different things, design studios or anything like that. If they want to work on their wellness, we are willing to work with them. So we have a lot of different options.
Do the different industries have different particular health or wellness needs, or is it sort of across the board the same?
That's a great question.
Not really.
When you look at maybe something like manufacturing, maybe individuals have, they're on their feet, they're moving a lot, right?
Yeah.
But maybe they consume a lot of sugar, so they have higher blood sugars, right? Just because based off the way they work, they have to consume something fast. Oftentimes, that's not going to be the most healthy option, right? They don't have time to go cook a meal in between their shifts, right?
Right.
So something like that, you see often. Right now, we're seeing a lot of the same things, right? We're seeing a lot of the higher blood pressure. I know you talked to Denise earlier, and she talked a little bit about all of the things that we screen for. And when we work with biometric screening, we screen for the blood pressure, we screen for the blood sugar, all of the lipid profile that we see a lot of that. So that's what we're looking for.
No, I don't know that we've asked anyone else this before, but what does day one look like? When with a new company, a new group, how do you start this?
It's really, who are we? What are we doing?
Is that what they say to you when you arrive?
A lot of times.
At their homes?
Yeah, a lot of times, like, what is this person doing on our work site? Or if it's virtual, if it's a call, sometimes we do that. Why am I talking to Noah right now? Who is this person? And it's really explaining who we are as WorkSpring, but really who we are as a wellness consultant and why we're there to help. And why do we want to help? Why do I care what a school system in Columbus, Ohio does, right? It's because we really do care about the individuals that we work with, and it's really just explaining that to them.
How is it set up so that it's not perceived as like a punishment? It's not something negative that they're having to do. It's not that I have to go talk to these dumb people. You know what I mean? Like how do the best organizations set it up so that people are actually interested?
We get a lot of hesitant individuals that chat with us, especially at first, right? I mean, no one wants to go to the doctor and see that they have high blood pressure or high blood sugar, and no one wants to talk about their wellness, especially maybe at the work site, right?
Sure.
It really, rewards help, right?
Yes.
Incentives.
Yeah.
If the company can offer any type of incentive, that is beneficial. That gets people in the door. That gets people talking.
Yeah, totally.
WorkSpring, we offer rewards a lot of times as well for individuals who participate in our program. So that is a good icebreaker, right?
Yeah.
And when we offer something like that, if it's gift cards, if it's other raffles, things like that, it's a really good icebreaker to have that. But really, it's just being present is often a good way to soften
consistency.
Consistency. Seeing our face, right? If it's virtual, being on site as much as we can.
Yeah.
If they see us, the more times throughout the year, the more it's like a friendship.
When you're onboarding a new client, new partner, is there a common problem that you're seeing in workplaces to be like, pretty much everybody's getting this thing wrong?
We're going to move the pop machine out of here or something like that. No, sincerely.
Yeah.
We're getting rid of the free candy.
Yeah, it's honestly prevention. Getting people to do their preventative care, if it is a biometric screening, but also just going to their doctor, an annual physical. It is often completely free of charge with most insurances. Just being able to have a relationship with your doctor, that seems to be one of the hardest conversations to have and hardest needles to move.
Gretchen, you've been looking to have relationships with doctors.
I have.
Is that the same?
It's close.
It's also preventative.
We don't have the screenings.
Oh my God.
Man, that's good.
They're equally as successful.
Noah,
that was good.
Save us.
You are okay. Let me get back. No, you seem like a particularly warm person, which would make me clearly already feel at ease. How did you start down this field? You seem like a comparatively young person, especially to these old fossils to my left. Talk to me about.
How'd you get into this particular line of work?
Yeah, great question. I've actually started, playing sports in high school and college, and now, common theme. Baseball was baseball.
What position?
Second base. Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't have a very strong arm.
Not a strong arm. But good hands. Yeah.
We've been coaching. We just had opening day here, so we've been teaching Gretchen
about
baseball. And somehow we've all learned less.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Listen, it's a hard sport to get to get onto for, at first. But just keep trying. You're gonna love it.
So Gretchen,
Especially
every
the butt
position
heads.
in baseball is assigned a number on the score sheet.
Okay.
What number is second base?
Obviously 2.
Anyway,
That was a good.
it's a fair guess.
Yeah, fair guess.
She's doing so.
All right, I'll
You
say 4.
almost said that was a good guess.
It was a
and
good
it's
guess.
not a good guess.
So is it catcher, pitcher,
Pitcher?
first,
Pitcher's
second,
one.
Yes.
4th?
Yes.
There
good
you
job.
go.
You guys, I figured it out
Yeah,
from
it's
my
smart.
deduction
All right,
skills.
so then what is shortstop?
I don't know what that position is.
Yeah.
I'll say 7.
Nope.
No, please God save us here.
Yeah.
So but you started down this path.
Sports, I love that, and I actually started in strength and conditioning.
Okay.
So youth sports, I did a lot of strength and conditioning in grad school, and really loved that as a passion. And then I went into clinical exercise physiology.
Oh, wow.
And worked in cardiac and pulmonary rehab. So
Okay.
the complete opposite of strength and
No
conditioning
kidding.
with middle schoolers, right? To working with maybe a lot of patients past that prime, right? So it was a big change, but I really enjoyed both, and I got to learn a lot about the clinical side of health and wellness, and the beginning sides of health and
Did
wellness.
someone, seeing the other end of the spectrum, cause you to want to go back and try to be in the preventative side?
Yeah, when I look back on it and look at my time in something like cardiac rehab, you really think about where you're at and what you can do to help prevent. It's not always preventable, right? There's some
Right.
things that
Right.
are family, and that is absolutely true. But some things are very much preventable, or at least you can do the most that
Best you can.
The best you can, right? Exactly. And so working in corporate wellness, like at WorkSpring, we get to really preach that to our clients and to the people that we work with. And absolutely, when you see some of the things that you get to see in cardiac rehab, pulmonary rehab, it really makes you to think about and want to help those before they get to that stage.
We're talking with Noah Hayden with WorkSpring here on a Wellness Wednesday presented by WorkSpring on the 419. Noah, what, obviously we talked with Denise a little bit about screenings and the biometrics and the tech around all of this. What are some of the tech tools that you use or recommend to your clients to help make tracking some of this or addressing some of this easier?
The tracking tools nowadays are amazing. I mean, the fitness devices that we have access to are really fun. And I wear a fitness device. Many people do. I will say they may not be the most accurate. They are getting better.
Yeah.
Steps are pretty accurate. Heart rate is pretty accurate. Calories you burn, not so accurate. They can be up to 60% off.
Yeah, because they seem like they should be a lot higher.
Well, I wish as well. But
it is something, though.
It is something. It gives us an idea of how hard we're working, or how well we're sleeping, or the amount of steps that we're getting.
Or how much it takes. I mean, to eat the thing you want to eat. If you're trying to do it that way, that this 5-mile run is not going to necessarily get rid of that, unfortunately.
So I do love the trackers. There are a lot of great ones out there. I'm not here to endorse any. We don't.
Sure.
I wear a Fitbit, but the Oura rings are really popular now.
Yeah.
Garmin's, Whoops. There's a lot of different options.
Yeah.
Those are great. There are a lot of apps as well. So I know with WorkSpring we have our own app that we tied with, right? That people can track. There's the MyFitnessPal and ones that you can track foods and things like that. A lot of great apps that are out there. I always just encourage people to try it out for a little bit. You learn a lot within those first 2 weeks that you track. If you're tracking exercise or you're tracking food, you learn a ton about yourself and your routine.
I think it's fascinating that I don't know if fascinating is the right way to describe it, but I think it's also sad that we usually lean into things or learn more from celebrity endorsement or professional athletes. You're a sports fan, sounds like yourself. LeBron James. Or other athletes say you should be careful what you eat, and people are like, oh, I should be careful what I eat. And then it was sleep, right? And then now breathing, right?
Yeah, so the breathing.
These are conceptually things you've been learning.
Mouth tape or
like professionals your entire life. I'm a little curious, and this might just be akin to what we're talking about. Noah, sleep, is that that seems to be something that people neglect. It
is the foundation of wellness.
Yes.
Sleep.
Well, what right now on a personal level are you focused on?
Well, I think I might be the bad one to ask this. I just had a baby 3 weeks ago. So
Oh my
sleep
God.
is at a premium.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I am
He's
not
like,
getting
definitely sleep is the most important thing in my life.
Before that, let's talk
Yeah,
before.
you remember sleep, right? Wasn't it great?
Yeah, 3 weeks ago. It feels like 3 years
So
ago.
in 17 or so years, you can get sleep again.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Boy or girl?
Boy.
What
Yeah.
name?
William.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, before that, sleep was my priority. I mean, it really is the foundation of wellness, and 7 to 9 hours, as much as I could. You know, it sounds difficult to get that, and
It's
for
not.
most people it is. I mean, but being able to prioritize sleep
Yeah.
and getting anywhere near that is really the foundation. I mean, you exercise better, you eat better during the day when you sleep well. You know, you do have more energy to, play with your kids or get things done or get an extra workout in. So really, sleep. I mean, that's the foundation.
How do we get back to, I don't say get back to, but how do we get to a space where workplaces allow napping in the middle of the day?
When you find that out, let me know, because
Okay.
that sounds great. No, I think
I'll talk to
being able,
Megan. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, being able to prioritize self-care, at the workplace, it's becoming more relevant, more popular, more just ingrained into the workplace, and I think that's great.
I do too.
Maybe it's not naps, but maybe it's being able to reset for a second in any way that a person may find helpful. Being able to take care of your health, being able to have a day where maybe you need to catch up on your mental health, being able to take that day.
Yeah.
These things are becoming more popular, and it's good.
So if you do your biometric screening and then you have sleep, what's the third thing? If you do those two things and someone's like starting out on this, what would you say is the next important thing that, or key thing that they need to do to get started?
Unfortunately, it is diet. I mean, it is the way we eat.
Yeah.
At least being able to have that conversation with your doctor, maybe a dietitian, registered dietitian, that may be the next step. Unfortunately, it is the way we eat. Reducing the amount of sugar, alcohol that we have, these things can be really helpful.
There's the frustrating part for people, I think, sometimes is, go to your doctor, go to your doctor, go to your doctor.
Yeah.
But does WorkSpring or this may not be your area of expertise, but then you go to your doctor and try to have that conversation, and it can be that they're just like, they brush it aside, they don't have time, they don't have the interest, they just say lose weight or whatever.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that's working with physicians or training or
To make them more approachable?
to make it so that so when someone goes and finally gets to the doctor and tries to have the conversation with them, that everything that you're doing is reinforced.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, medical doctors don't have a ton of training in nutrition. They know what they're talking about, but also they don't have a lot of time with you, right? They have those 10, 15 minute appointments where you're in and out. And nothing against our primary care physicians, they do a great work,
right?
But it is the time constraints that they have. Something like if you're working with WorkSpring, we do have a lot of educational sessions that we offer. If you have a major medical health plan, a lot of times they will offer free nutrition counseling or working with a health coach.
In addition to your doctor. Yeah.
With addition to your doctor, for no cost.
Right.
You really just have to look into some of the resources that you have, depending on the health plan that you have, or even your work site. Sometimes your work site, your workplace will offer these things and they just not advertise as much. That's something to look into as well.
That's an interesting kind of idea of a first step there that like at least I'm pulling out is to go back and talk to your HR department to say, hey, what's covered, right? The amount of just the joy that people get from free stuff.
Yes.
Right?
Sure.
Yes. You go to the mall and someone's like, hey, sign up for a credit card for a free t-shirt. You're like, I'll do this thing. But we don't take advantage of the free things that are there in front of us for our own health and wellness.
Right.
And so maybe just to start there to say, hey, what's free, right? What doesn't take a whole lot of time and doesn't cost me any money? What are those things that I can do? Noah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
We appreciate your time.
Congratulations.
Congrats on the new one.
Thank you.
You're welcome to stay here in Toledo as long as you need to.
Just
catch
go
up
back
on
to the
sleep.
hotel and sleep.
Yeah, the hotel sleep was good.
Yeah.
We'll tell your partner that you had to stay later.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, we need a lot more help on wellness.
Perfect.
That's right. Yeah, that is accurate. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Mickey Miller, the new morning host on FM 91, will join us here on the 419. We'll be right back.
Support for the 419 comes from Witro Wealth Management, where we understand that your financial path is personal. Advisory services are offered through Capital Investment Advisory Services, LLC. Securities offered through Capital Investment Group, Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. More information at witroadvisors.com.
Destination Toledo. Whether you're a local or a visitor, Destination Toledo invites you to explore the region and be a tourist in Toledo. Find events, dining, and things to do at visittoledo.org.
WorkSpring. HR issues and employee well-being go hand in hand. WorkSpring supports employers through compliance, training, and wellness because healthy workplaces don't happen by accidents. Learn more at workspring.org.
Toledo Refining Company, a subsidiary of PDF Energy. Toledo Refining Company is a supplier of fuels that keep our region moving. Located in Oregon, Ohio, the refinery processes crude oil into gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, and other petroleum products.
And TARDA, celebrating its 55th year of connecting Northwest Ohioans to their community. More information at tarda.com.
Welcome back into the 419, powered by WGTE. You can catch this program every day, 7 a.m. on YouTube, 3 p.m. on FM 91 in Toledo, Bryan, Defiance, and Lima, 6 p.m. on WGTE Connects channel 30.4. And of course, if you're listening to FM 91 already, you'll probably recognize our next guest's voice, the new morning host on FM 91, Mickey Miller. Mickey, thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for being here.
You are brand new to WGTE. How are you liking it so far?
I love it. I mean, I had the benefit of being a listener. I interned briefly during the pandemic, so getting to be on site and seeing everything and all the so many shows and things we've got going on over here. It's great.
The team here is a nightmare, right?
They're so lovely.
Yes.
No,
What was
really
it that drew, I mean, when you saw this opportunity kind of open up, what was it that drew you to this?
Sure. I have worked in arts admin. I've worked in education as well. So any opportunity to yap about my favorite music and different artists and community programs that come together in this space it's lovely.
I joke with people that for folks that are listening to FM 91, when 3 o'clock rolls around, they get our show. We're like the only people that aren't whispering on FM 91. Where did you find your FM 91 voice?
It comes pre-built for the most part. So I studied voice and opera. I also, when I was at BG, they have a phenomenal communication and speech disorders program. So if you have any kind of needs for speech therapy or just, finding your lowest note, go up a fifth and maybe find a comfy, easy resonant space.
Listening to your voice makes me hate my voice even more.
Yeah, it does me too.
I think everyone hates hearing their own voicemails.
So how did you get an interest? Because in the morning you're in and out of National Public Radio, right? And then do you start the classical music part of the morning as well?
I do.
Okay, so how did you first get involved with, obviously you said some opera training, or interested in classical music?
So I grew up in kind of an eclectic musical house. My mom is a bluegrass musician, and my brother is a metal percussionist and plays guitar. We had Suzuki violin training.
Sure.
You got. Did you do this, or you have little ones in it?
My best friend did, so I had to sit and watch him do it.
Yep.
Yes.
I started young enough that I had to practice standing on the bed because I would drop my rental. When you're 3, I didn't want to practice. It's fine. Now I can read music well, so
nice.
I'm grateful. But
what is this?
It's a method of teaching.
Okay.
So kind of in the same sense that you learn to talk and tell stories before you read.
Yeah.
No, not at all. She's always been a little bit of a diva with that. So.
Love it.
But no, I was really fortunate to enjoy lessons after I finished violin, and I wound up going into school at Mizzou, went through LSU and then BGSU, and it's been a blast.
And you made your way back to Northwest Ohio. What's your favorite part of the mornings?
I really love a little extra time. I'm not as much of a morning person as you might expect, so I always build in an extra hour to just be a bit of a zombie and listen to things and have my own space before I see people.
What do you listen to?
Depends on the day.
Yeah,
there's some good, I've got my little playlist for the commute that you get some energy, little mix of classical, a little mix of club, jazz, whatever.
Sure.
And do you get to select the music? Is it totally within your discretion about what's going to be played?
So we will be doing that. I'm very grateful for Brad Cresswell has been easing me in and said, all right, here's what we've got. But if you want to throw something in the mix for now, go for it. And then we'll be doing all my mixes.
When did you perform? When were you in performance for opera or singing?
Sure. So I did undergrad, master's, and a good amount of contemporary music at BG, and I enjoyed more of the chamber and choral side. I joke that LSU is like SEC opera. They've got a phenomenal program, and I did quite a few shows with them. I did some young artist programs and a little bit of travel, but all pre-pandemic. And I enjoy the production side. I enjoy making chamber music with my friends.
Where do you get rid of your sort of performance bug now? Do you sing anywhere? Are you in a choir? Are you
the commute? Just pour it out in the.
Oh no, and I teach still. So I still teach voice over at TCLA with Live Arts Toledo. Yeah. I will actually be singing over there with their WC coming up in a couple weeks next week. So we find times.
A question. I've got a 7-year-old. Who is interested in voice lessons. How early can you start?
Anytime.
Okay.
The most productive I have found, and it depends on the school of the teacher, often getting some musical literacy in piano or other instruments can be most beneficial before they hit like 11, 12.
Do you have, in your own career, do you have a favorite production, an aha moment that still feels particularly good to you, and also like a disastrous experience?
Oh, well, let's start with the positive there.
Sure.
You mean for things that I've watched or things that I've been in? Or
you've been in.
I loved doing "And True Love" is a Stravinsky. So the Rake's Progress. Pardon me.
Thank you for making that correction.
Of course, no. The articles are important. It was a stunning, it was gorgeous, fun piece and a role, and I definitely knocked over topiary in it, so it might be a best and a worst.
All right.
Yeah, it's lovely. I love Stravinsky's a gateway into all the weird new fun things with living composers. Yeah, mixed meter everywhere. It's fun.
Let's talk about WGTE and public media a little bit. I mean, obviously, there's a big chunk of FM 91 that is playing classical music here in Toledo, the only station that's doing that. Why is that important?
It's, for me, about access. It's about having communication about the history that we're built on, but also the new ideas that are coming into it. In any musical style, it's something of a language, and it's not a dead genre by any stretch of the imagination. There's new artists, there's new voices and conversations constantly going on, so having locally curated and curious spaces is really important.
What do you enjoy most about one of the things I most regret is my mom wanted me to learn piano, and I didn't. And I studied voice and I sang, but I never learned how to play piano or an instrument. And I still wish I would have just listened to her and had that skill set. What do you enjoy, or what do you think young people get out of having that skill set or that ability?
I think there's a couple of pieces. There's a lot of problem-solving discipline, goal setting. So understanding that something can be to be celebrated in front of people, but it's also, what do you have to say about this idea? What do you have to say about this phrase or this moment in a piece? But you also learn a lot of teamwork. There's a lot of sports overlap with any kind of theater kid. There's a lot of great things to be learned.
And something old, something new. Where do you listen for new or find new inspiration?
I'm spoiled with a lot of great friends that are music makers. So often I'm staying in touch with them, seeing what they're working on, but also what they're excited about.
Sure.
So just, and finding things that aren't always, this is the next gig. It's just, hey, this is a silly, weird tune and something we bowed the cymbal for an extra half hour or something.
Who would be on your Spotify Wrapped list, like for last year, like your top artists that you're listening to?
An intimate question.
Oh.
No.
She's the worst.
No, she's lovely. She's a singer. I get it. Let's see. I have really enjoyed, I'm a big Chris Thiele fan. I'll be sad to miss that next week, I think. The other folks I listen to a lot of Betty Carter, Beverly Sills. I love Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
I love a few different like up and coming bluegrass artists as well.
Very cool.
If somebody's not into classical music, but they're like interested in sort of exploring, walking down that road, what's some stuff that you recommend? Like, hey, start here.
Yeah,
right?
what's the point of entry? Yeah.
I would start with what they know they like a little bit, like sound-wise. So I know some friends that can't stand the sound of an opera singer, and don't try to force yourself. Start with your threshold of attention. You can go with a mood. There's no reason to force yourself to enjoy something. It's like vegetables, you know. It's just try it. If you like it, great. If it's something
exactly
similar.
what Noah before you said about nutrition.
Health and wellness.
He said, just ignore the things that don't.
Vegetables, nah.
Yeah,
just supplement the diet. Oh no, you're fine. That's. I think that the question. Would you remind me?
Point of entry.
Point of entry. Yep. Right. Also look at what artists you already like. And see what influences or what they might have in common with different stories or different scale, right? So if you like some big, like classic rock or something large in sound, maybe start with a larger fourth symphony or.
Yeah. Do you take requests on your show?
Soon to be. We'll see.
Good.
We'll have to, chat with Shane.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, that sounds.
Get a request. Get a hotline.
I do think that's such a brilliant piece of advice, though, and it goes with food pairing and wine and everything. Is the entry point is I don't know, what do you like?
And
that's such a great. It seems intuitive and seems like such a simple direction, but it isn't. People force themselves to like something, or they feel like they should. It's a sign of a class status or something. You know, you don't have to like Miles Davis to like jazz.
Right.
But that's a very thoughtful way of describing that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But that's, I mean, you and I, we've had that conversation about wine, right?
Yes.
I mean, you're a sommelier, and so the idea of like, you know all of these great things about wine, and it's like, oh, if you like $3 bottles of wine, drink a $3 bottle of wine.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with second cheapest wine or whatever the sketch was. There are levels of taste, and there's always going to be someone who judges based on their own set.
Yeah.
Just do what you like.
That's right.
Life is too short.
Yes,
you're gonna have good taste.
That's well said.
Tell us a little bit about your life in Toledo. What do you do when you're not at FM 91? What hobbies? Anything else you like to do in Toledo?
Sure. I love to go out to eat. I've become a walleye fan. It's my fourth season.
Happen? It's exciting.
It's loud. It's fun.
Yes.
How did that happen?
Well, I just went. I think I was invited. No, I had been to Mud Hens a fair amount because I grew up a Kansas City Royals fan.
Yes.
The time that I was there, it's similar in experience to the minor league where they're. They got better. Anyway.
I love so much that you just referred to the Royals.
When I was there, the Royals were working through professionalism.
They were doing some stuff. No.
They were doing some stuff.
It was Friday nights were about fireworks and hot dogs.
Yes.
And that's the joy of a lot that I experienced in minor league. And while I think I'm on season 4, my 4th season attending, and I can yell offside. Otherwise, I'm still learning the rules.
That's cool.
It's fun. It's such a welcoming space.
What's your favorite local restaurant?
I really like the Beirut.
Yes.
That place is so
that
good.
was a lot, Matt.
Yeah.
Sorry. I also like hockey too.
Yeah. So obviously, as a purist musician, who's now a walleye fan, are you yelling in the middle of the national anthem, or are you letting it finish?
So performance practice would dictate that we should yell, because that's how it is experienced in that stadium.
Yeah.
So it's actually proper to yell.
I think that by rights you should sing the national anthem as the new host of FM 91.
Would you?
I think it would be fun to do the trade-off of announcers and have one of their play-by-plays do the symphony overview.
We're going to make that happen.
That is a great idea.
We're going to make that happen.
Absolutely. And then you do.
Well, I need to learn the rules. And I say, oh no!
That gentleman has stolen that puck.
You could do the color commentary. You don't have to do the play-by-play.
When I was in college, there was a part of me that was like, I think I'm going to be a play-by-play announcer. And so the only sport that didn't have somebody on it was hockey.
Yeah.
And I did the radio broadcast of a men's hockey game at Miami, and all-out brawl broke out. And I was like, I don't know.
So delightful.
Oh, it was great. I mean, the goalies were fighting, like literally. They met in the middle and were just throwing
You're like, there's
down.
a delightful fight going on
A
right
couple
now.
of gentlemen are talking about civic issues in the middle of the
Well, no
court.
one told me that they would do that. So my first walleye game, I got like a proper, and everyone just started celebrating, and they did a little dozy-do, and it was amazing.
Does that happen in the office here at WGTE too when two people start fighting?
I'm new.
The lights dim and music starts playing.
I understand that there's a fight club after
That
Pledge
is-
Week.
What a beautiful answer to that too. I'm new.
If you see Shane walking down the hall with the helmet, you know it's about to go down.
He's a jet.
All right. Rapid fire. It's now time for Gretchen's Wacky Quiz.
All right.
I'm going to ask you 4 rapid fire questions. Gretchen's asking for your favorite thing in or about Toledo, and then you and Matt will describe Toledo in exactly 9 words. Okay. All right. If you could speak with the British royal family, what would you ask them?
How are you?
Love it. How's it going? Bring Megan back.
Which celebrity annoys you the most?
I know celebrities very well. I can't suddenly think of a single celebrity. I don't know. Tara Reid, what's she doing? She had a bad Halloween costume recently.
Yeah, she's done right
Sorry,
now.
Tara.
Yeah, take it easy. Yeah.
What's something what is always guaranteed to make you angry?
Oh.
Tara Reid.
No, she's fine.
She's
I have not. This Sharknado. I don't like when people don't give space for somebody pulled over on the side of the road. I really hate if you don't just get over instead of give them space.
Yeah.
And then who out of all of your friends do you admire the most?
I know we just met, but I hope that means it.
Yeah, probably you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I need it.
No, I have a very dear friend, Chris Murphy's a good buddy and a good homie. We met as the fellow Southern compatriots in BGSU, and he's good people.
All right.
What's your number one most favorite thing, or what you consider to be the best thing about the city of Toledo?
Just the community. It's electric. I know working at the Toledo Symphony, I got to do a lot of run-out concerts where if groups were coming in to visit us, or if we had ensembles or the whole Christmas runouts, getting to go and see folks in their own spaces and how connected every little facet of this area is lovely.
All right, I'm going to start you out. We've got 9 words, but I'm going to give you community for 1. So you're already
Love
good.
that.
Give you the Beirut
Thank you so
for 2.
much.
All right.
That's technically 3 words.
We've got 7 left. All right, let's do it.
Okay. The arts.
Arts, love it. Okay, we're on fire.
Well, the museum is part of the arts.
Yep.
Live arts.
We'll take it. Live arts,
the
Toledo.
symphony is
Yep.
gorgeous.
Symphony, yes. 3 left.
Jazz orchestra.
Jazz orchestra.
Festivals and live music.
Festivals and live music. 1 left. What's the last one? Close strong.
WGTE.
All right, the Metro Parks it is.
Mickey, so nice meeting you. So, congratulations on your new post.
Matt's going to make you go out to the Metro Parks.
Yeah.
Do you
I
do
do
a
love the Metro
live show from
Oh, I'd love that.
Wildwood? Do a live show from Wildwood.
Get the geese outside, honestly.
Yeah,
Just
not
start
for
with
long.
some ambiance.
All right, Mickey Miller, thank you so
Yeah,
much
what a
for
pleasure.
joining
Thanks, y'all.
us.
Really
When
nice
we
meeting you.
come back, we'll wrap up this Wellness Wednesday edition of the 419.
You laughed with us. You learned with us.
Hi, neighbor.
We made sure your childhood was special. Memories that could only be provided by PBS. For generations, we've given you programs that made a difference. Programs that entertained, informed, and inspired. And today is no different. This is WGTE Public Media in Toledo. It's where you belong.
Introducing The Local Thread, a community news series uniting voices and storytellers from across the region. In partnership with La Prensa, the Toledo Free Press, the Sojourner's Truth, Toledo Public Schools, and Rethinking Jails and Justice. The Local Thread brings you stories and conversations that connect our community. Hear it weeknights at 7 on FM 91 with early access on podcast platforms each morning. The Local Thread, only on WGTE.
Welcome back into the 419 as we wrap up a Wellness Wednesday edition. Mark your calendars for 419 Day.
Calendars. We're so excited about 419 Day, April 19th, 2 to 6 p.m. at Jute Mode, 1811 Monroe Street. We're going to be doing a live recording of the show. Lots of special guests. Metro Parks will be there. Deet's Food Truck will be there. It's totally free. You can make your own shirt, and the proceeds from the sale of that shirt will go to benefit WGTE. So it's going to be a really fun day.
Come on out and join us. Thanks to our guests. Thanks to Denise, Noah, and Mickey for joining us on the program today. And thanks to you as well. If you missed any part of the show, 7 a.m. on YouTube, 3 p.m. on FM 91, 6 p.m. on WGTE Connects channel 30.4. Of course, online, WGTE.org/the419, or download the new and improved WGTE app. We'll see you back here tomorrow. It's the 419, powered by WGTE, presented by Witro Wealth Management.
The 419, powered by WGTE, is made possible in part by supporters like you. Thank you.